Coming up on Mount News this morning, freezing temperatures cause some concern among road crews here in our region. And an Eastern Kentucky Youth Service Center spreads love and warmth while giving kids something to hold on to.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It's 5:35 on this Friday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Well, it's cold. Let's head over to Brandon for a check of that cold forecast. Brandon, I walked out of my house this morning. That cold just hit you. I mean, it was just instantly, and I was like, ooh, I need to go back into the house, get me another jacket,
Yes.
2 jackets to wear. It was cold. I was afraid my car wasn't going to start because it kind of hesitated.
Mine kind of sputtered
I was
too.
like, come on, I have a newscast. Let's go. Let's go.
But yeah, no, I feel you on that one. And then I come out to a car that was covered in snow after it was supposed to stop yesterday. So that's that lake effect moisture for you. Still churning around in some areas this morning. So flakes are still flying in some areas, and they will be for a little while today. But the cold is the big story, and layers are your friend. Let's take a look at the satellite radar loop to show you some of that lake effect snow. It basically come down pretty good in some areas late last night, and people reporting even more accumulation than they got yesterday morning. So there you go. Seeing that sneaking through here from the Great Lakes. Most of the moisture we have in Eastern Kentucky was off of Lake Erie, US 119, US 23 at Pikeville this morning. No major issues there, but you see again maybe a little bit of snow over that way. Temperatures again teens and 20s out there, so be careful, bundle up, and you factor in the temperature change from this time yesterday. Most spots are 10 to 15 degrees colder this morning than they were yesterday. Your planner, we're not going to get much better today, and the wind, even if it's just a slight wind, will play a big factor in what it feels like. Wind chills in the teens at times throughout the day, and they'll be in the single digits possibly this morning, tonight, and below zero at times as well. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, a man was killed early Thursday morning following a crash in Pike County. It happened when a car turned off a US 23, also known as South Mayo Trail, near the Kentucky 3946 intersection, and into the path of a commercial truck. The driver and 2 passengers were taken to Pikeville Medical Center, where 42-year-old Eric Blankenship was pronounced dead. The driver of the truck was unharmed, and no drugs or alcohol are suspected. In Laurel County, first responders had to work in the cold to put out a building fire. The Crossroads Fire Department responded to this scene on Chapel Road. Firefighters arrived to find the building fully involved. They say it took 2 hours to knock down the flames. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. Now, we don't know what caused the fire. Well, freezing temps could cause icy conditions on the roads this morning. Crews say they've been working 12-hour shifts treating roads, but say it is better to stay home because their melting agents lose effectiveness when temperatures are below 20 degrees. They say working back-to-back winter events are exhausting, but say they have enough salt and supplies to get the job done.
It's very stressful, and these crews work very hard, and we always appreciate it when the public shows their appreciation for how hard they work.
Officials remind drivers to take it easy on the roads, like watching your speed, and if you see a snowplow, make sure you give it enough room to let it work. Well, one statewide foster agency is hosting a blanket drive to spread love and comfort to kids who need it the most. Our Jordan Mullins has more from Stepstone officials about their Wrapped in Love drive.
Stepstone Family and Youth Services offers foster children and foster families a safe space.
To make sure that every kid has a place to call home, make sure they're in a safe, loving, caring environment, and we offer therapeutic services to those kids in need.
But some children who come into care come with very few personal belongings.
A lot of our kiddos come in with a little trash bag full of clothes. Some do, some don't.
That is why Stepstone is hosting its second annual Wrapped in Love blanket drive from January 17th to February 14th. The blankets given to these kids will be a source of comfort and warmth in a troubling time, no matter their age.
Sometimes that can be a positive trigger for some of these kids. They can hug up to it, they can cry, and especially teenagers, they want to cry and scream into their blanket. It's just something that it's a therapeutic need for some of these kids. They just cherish anything that they get.
The drive saw nearly 1,000 blankets donated in 2021, but officials are shooting for a new goal this year.
This year we want to double that. It'd be great if we could even triple it. And what we do is, even if we say we got enough blankets for every single kid that we have in Kentucky, we could put those back for new kids that come into care.
In order to help as many kids as possible throughout the state. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, officials say donated blankets must be new and clean. You can find a list of donation drop-off locations on our website. Well, more than 200 entries from 33 different schools. The Kentucky Derby Museum has selected the winner of this year's Horsing Around with Art competition. Mercy Academy 11th grader Lily Swan was surprised at school Thursday by the folks at the Kentucky Derby Museum. Now she'll have a race named after her at the Kentucky Derby, a seat on Millionaires Row, and her painting will be on display at the Derby and in the Kentucky Derby Museum. Swan says she worked really hard on the piece and did what she could to capture the intimacy of the moment depicted.
Originally, the picture, the eye was closed, and we wanted to have it open because it furthers that connection, and it had a really nice perspective.
Well, 4 other entries from Mercy were runners-up or honorable mentions, bringing in another $800. Donations to their art department total $1,300 from this competition. Well, just ahead this morning, fans of a rock and roll legend mourn his life and remember the musical legacy he leaves behind.
Another cold day, or after another cold day, temperatures will move in the right direction this weekend. I'll have that forecast for you in about 3 minutes.